Assalamu alaikum, wonderful students. Today we will discuss about research. What is research? Actually, research means finding answers to the questions. It is a systematic search for truth. Systematic means it works in a sequence. Okay. Through research, new and original information, ideas about the world we live in are obtained. Research is search for knowledge. Research is defined as a scientific and systematic search for information on a specific topic. Clear? Okay. If we'll move towards the criteria of a good research, first is purpose clearly defined. A research that you had prepared should must define the purpose. Clear? Second is research process detail. All the details of the research process are must given in your final results. Research design thoroughly planned. Research or design should be planned, high ethical standards applied, limitations frankly revealed, adequate analysis for decision makers need, findings presented ambiguously, conclusion justified, research experience reflected. Clear? Okay. Objectives of research. The purpose of research is to discover answers through the application of scientific procedures. The objectives are to gain familiarity with a phenomena or to achieve new insights into it. Exploratory or formulative research. Clear? To explore something, to formulate something, to portray accurately the characteristics of particular individual situation, or a group. This is known as descriptive research. You are portraying actually to determine the frequency with which some things occur or with which it is associated with something else is known as diagnostic research. Clear? To test a hypothesis of causal relationship between variables is known as hypothesis testing research. Okay. Why do we conduct research? Actually, we conduct research to invent new things, to solve prevailing problems, to support development programs of a country, to uplift living standards, because we are inquisitive about things happening around us. The questions we ask from the researchers are actually answered in research. Okay, conduct research. Before generating a hypothesis, conduct background research, understand the scope of the study. Use this research to determine both the dependent and independent variables of the study. Clear? What is a research proposal? Actually, a research proposal sets out the broad topic you would like to research. Okay, what the research would set out to achieve, it's about aims and objectives. How you would go about researching is methodology. How you would undertake it within the time available is outline plan. And what the results might be in relation to knowledge and understanding and the subject is potential outcome. Content of research proposal are executive summary, problem statements, review literature, research methodology, data analysis, time frame, budget, resources, and hypothesis. Clear? Okay. Move towards the project scope, project justification, project objectives, project scope description, project acceptance criteria, project concentrates, and project assumptions are the project scopes actually. A research design is actually a framework or blueprint for conducting the research project. It details the procedures necessary for obtaining the information needed to survive or needed to structure or solve the research problems. Okay. Contents of research design. Statement of research objectives, that is why research project is to be conducted, type of data needed, definition of population and sampling procedures to be followed, time, cost, and responsibility specification, methods, ways, and procedures used for collection of data analysis tools or methods used to analyze data. How to design a project or research project. What is research design? Task of defining the research problem is the preparation of the research project, popularly known as research design. What, where, when, how much, by what means concerning an inquiry or research study constitutes a research design. Clear? Okay, move towards the project design. Project design shows a rough sketch or an overall view of the entire research project. This shows the project prototype. Proto means primitive, represented in diagrams such as flowcharts, context, blocks, and in schematic diagrams. This part briefly introduces the use of the research products in general. What is the need for research design? Research design is needed because it gives the smooth going of the various research operations. So, making research as efficient as possible, we can get maximal information with minimum expenditure of efforts, time, and money. Okay. Just as for better, economical, and attractive constructions of a house, we need a blueprint, or what is commonly called as the map of the house, well thought out and prepared by an expert architect. Similarly, we need a research design or a plan in advance of data collection and analysis for a research project. Clear? What are the purposes of research design? It provides the scheme for answering research questions. It maintains controls to avoid bias that may affect the outcome. It organizes the study in certain way, defining the advantages of doing while being aware and caution about potential disadvantages. Hope that you might got about it. Different research designs in case of exploratory research study, in case of descriptive and diagnostic research, and in case of hypothesis testing research studies are given. If we'll talk about the study designs, observational study can be descriptive study, can be ecological correlations, can be analytic study. Okay, analytic study can be cross sectional, case control, or court, or experimental study can be clinical trial or community trial. Types of research, there are basically two types that are discussed here, are descriptive versus analytical research. Okay, descriptive research is a fact finding investigation which is aimed at describing the characteristics of individual situation or a group, or describing the state of affairs as it exists as present. Okay, analytical research is primarily concerned with the testing hypotheses and specifying and interpreting relationships by analyzing the fact or information already available. Conceptual versus empirical research. Conceptual research is generally used by philosophers and thinkers to develop new concepts or to reinterpret existing ones. Okay, empirical research is a data based research which depends on experience or observation alone. It is aimed at coming up with conclusions without due regards for system and theory. Correlation research. Correlation research refers to the systematic investigation or statistical study of relationship among two or more variables without necessarily determining cause and if, for example, to test the hypothesis listening to music lowers blood pressure level. There are two ways of conducting research: experimental, group samples and make one group listen to music and that compare to the BP levels. Survey, ask people how they feel, how often they listen, and then compare. Empirical versus theoretical research. Empirical research is based on the results of observation or experimental only. Theoretical studies, the subject through the writing of others, reflects on these ideas or uses intellectual capabilities to construct a new explanation of the situation or a theory. Empirical research is the dominant paradigm in business and management. Process or methods of diagnostic research are formulating the objects of the study, designing the methods of data collection, selecting the sample, collecting the data, processing and analyzing the data, and reporting the findings. General steps of writing a project or proposal of research. The following are the general steps for writing a research project or proposals. First of all, you have to introduce research aims and questions, then review of literature, then study project design, then timeline, and then expected outcomes or impacts. Cover letter or cover page for research paper proposal. First, name of university, name of department, dissertation proposal, dissertation title, name of person, date or year. The study of COVID-19 impact in Mizoram prepared abstract for research paper are given here. Then abstract for research paper proposal. Then summary or abstract is here for your information. All the sample is provided here. These are the questions for research proposal. Research question, hypothesis for research paper proposal, objectives, literature review for research paper proposal. You can read it for a clear understanding. Research methods overview for research paper proposal. Materials and methods that are involved in this research project. Sources for data collection. Here is the research project time frame of research paper proposal. Research constraints for research paper proposal. Timeline for research paper proposal. How to report results. You can report results in form of tables, graphs, flowcharts, photographs, text or film. For example, the results and findings of COVID-19 project reports are presented in the following tables, graphs, images and text as follows. Corona status of Mizoram. District wise corona status of Mizoram. Corona vaccination status. This is the research process. First, we identify the problem, then review literature. Third, setting research out questions, objectives, and hypotheses. Fourth is choosing the study design. Fifth is about deciding on the sample designs, collection data. Sixth, processing and analyzing data. Eighth, writing the report, and move towards the final project. Okay. Four step processes of research methodology: situation, audit, and project design, finalize scope and design research project, data acquisition, gather primary and secondary data, data analysis and conclusions, preparation of preliminary predictions and conclusion, scenario development and strategy recommendation, device strategic alternatives, marketing, organizational, and MAs. These are the research methodology. Methodology is very important as it acts as a guideline post to study and at the same time eliminate wasteful expenditure of time and inquiry in the study. Data collection methods is there are two types of data actually, primary data and secondary data. First hand data is primary data that is collected by interviews, surveys or questionnaires. Data collection, that is secondary data, is the data that has already been collected by someone else for a different purpose to yours, paper based sources or electronic sources. Okay. Research methodologies, types of research: historical, comparative, descriptive, correlation, experimental, evaluation, action. ethnogenic, feminist, and cultural. These are actually divided into two types: qualitative or quantitative. Research methodologies. Action research. Action research is similar to experimental research, although carried out in the real world rather than in the context of closed experimental system. It involves small scale interventions in the function of the real world and a close examination of the effect of the such an intervention. Essentially, an on the spot procedure designed to deal with the specific problems evident in a particular situation, where no attempt is made to separate a particular feature of the problem from its context in order to study it in isolation. Clear? Constant monitoring and evaluation are carried out, and conclusions from the findings are applied immediately and further monitored as a practical form of research aimed at a specific problems and situations, and with little or no control over independent variables, it cannot fulfill the scientific requirement for the general stability. Therefore, despite its exploratory nature and therefore relatable to experimental research, it is actually the antithesis experimental research. Clear? Okay. List of funding agencies in India. List of funding agencies are here. Thank you, all of you. If you do like the video, then please share with your friends. Stay motivated. God bless you. Allah Hafiz.